Closed captioning for great tastes is presented by Manitoba Pork, proudly providing Manitobans with an affordable, healthy protein. Manitoba Liquor Mart presents Great Tastes of Manitoba. Great Tastes is brought to you by GreatTastesMB.ca. Local farms, local foods. Great Tastes is sponsored by the Government of Canada and Manitoba Agriculture through the Canadian Agricultural Partnership. Welcome to Great Tastes of Manitoba. My name is Des Daniels and we are getting cozy tonight. All of us. Cozy kitchen comforts with pork. We have Susan Reese here from Manitoba Pork and have some great recipes as always. And of course, Aaron Allblast, Manitoba Liquor Marts with all of the beverage pairings, which we'll get to in a second. But first of all, yes, cozy kitchen comforts is like, I'm thinking crock pots, and I know our first recipe incorporates one of those. So tell us what we're making tonight.
Well, I feel like every once in a while you need food that makes you feel consoled and satisfied and just warms you up from the inside out, right? So that's what we're doing today. So we're gonna start with a red Thai pork curry. Lots of flavor, really gonna fill you up, easy to do crock pot. Second recipe is prairie pork goulash, so old school kind of goulash. We're gonna serve that over some egg noodles. And then for our final recipe, we're gonna do something a little bit different, something a little bit surprising.
We are.
Bacon love brownies is what's on the menu.
What are you thinking?
What am I thinking?
Lots of different
I think
things.
I have my work cut out for me with this one.
I think you do too.
We're gonna go all over the map. We're gonna stick to kind of that warm, consoling theme that Susan's laid out. You'll just have to stay tuned to see exactly what we have in store.
All right, see you in a bit.
Awesome.
Recipe number one, red Thai pork curry.
Yes.
And so we are going to start, of course, with our pork. And there's kind of a very specific way that we go about choosing the meat for this recipe, and maybe you can explain why.
Right, so what we're using for this recipe are leg strips. So leg strips, like loin, is very lean meat, but it's a little bit tough. And so it works really well with a slow cooker because a slow cooker does just that. It cooks low and slow and it tenderizes.
Right.
So that's what we're gonna ask for when we go to the butcher or go to our grocery store. Oftentimes they're sold as stir-fry strips, but then you have to make sure that it's not loin. Ask specifically for leg strips.
Leg strips. Okay,
So that's what we're using. So we're gonna, we have some here browning in a pan. Now the thing with slow cooker is it doesn't sear or brown meat, right?
Right.
So to make your dish a little bit more visually appealing and to make it taste a little bit more flavorful, we're browning our strips.
I just find that sometimes if you don't do it, like you can, and I have done slow cooker, like where you've thrown in some meat without pre-browning it, but it looks kind of, sometimes it looks a bit gray. Like it's not, this is nicer,
Like
obviously.
a little anemic is what I like to call it.
Yeah.
So, and you'll probably have to do this in batches just to make sure you get the nice browning going on there. Just watch the heat on that.
But because that was the other thing. You don't want to crowd the pan because then it'll steam.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And
You
don't
won't
want
get that nice sear happening. So, so we'll let those finish browning, and then we would do the rest, as I said, in batches.
Sure.
So here we have a batch of leg strips already browned, ready to go.
It's very brown.
Okay. Exactly.
It's very pleasing.
We're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So we're going to start with some potato, which is not typically a traditional Thai thing, but it's going to actually turn this into a true one-pot dish because you don't have to cook rice separately, and it's going to help thicken up your curry, so it's kind of more stew-like.
Sounds good to me.
And then we'll have some onion in there as well.
Of course, peak of the market. I see onion. I see peppers. Peak of the market.
Got some garlic. Ginger, of course.
Right, 100%. Got to be there.
And then we're gonna throw in our liquids. So this is a mixture of coconut milk, full strength, because full fat. Let's go all the way, right?
Coconut milk, or I guess could you use coconut cream as well?
I don't know. I've never heard of coconut cream.
Oh,
actually.
really? Okay, all right. We're gonna go with yes on that one.
Some beef broth, a little bit of red Thai curry paste, and some fish sauce.
So is this a spicy? With the curry paste in there?
No, because the coconut milk just like mellows it out totally.
Okay.
And from here, we would put the lid on and let that cook for about 6 hours on low heat. And then voila, here we are.
We have the ultimately this is what you're going to end up with more or less.
Exactly.
Right?
So at this point, we're going to thicken it up. We would have thickened it up with some flour and water.
And so when do you add that in? Like
After
it's
the
been...
6 hours.
Okay.
And then that's what we've done. Then cook it for another, say, 15, 20 minutes on high this time. And we're just gonna refresh our flavors with a little bit of lime zest
Oh yeah.
and lime juice. And this really, really helps to bring all the seasonings that we've put in, the curry paste,
It's kind of
bring
brighten
that
it up
back
a
to
little
life
bit.
and bring, yeah, exactly.
And I was a little curious about those peppers up front. Is that just
That's just so how you can control the heat. If you want more heat,
Add that in there.
You can add that in there, and then you can garnish with a little bit of Thai basil at the end, which
Oh.
just like finishes off the dish perfectly.
this smells so good, and if you like that coconut milk and the lime, you have to try this at home. It smells unbelievable. We're going to taste it in just a sec. Coming up next, Cozy Kitchen Comforts with Pork. We're going to do a prairie pork goulash, a traditional way of putting this dish together, kind of. All right, stick around here on Great Tastes of Manitoba. We'll be right back.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by greattastesmb.ca. Local farms, local foods.